Hi, everyone. Welcome to GSL's Global Goals Week webinar series. So happy to have you with us. In just a moment, I'm going to play our impact video for the year. Just while we wait for people to arrive, it gives you a brief overview of what GSL is and what we've been up to over the last year. So yeah, as you join, I'll let you listen to this. So sorry, everyone. Not sure what is happening today with our sound. So really sorry you didn't get to hear the music there of the video. Hopefully you can hear me well now. And so welcome again. We're really excited to have you here. This is the last in our Global Goals Week webinar series for GSL, and we're really excited to welcome you. So you've heard some of our impact from last year, but the main focus of today's webinar is to be hearing from Ben, who's joined us from Mental Health Notebook from Eton College. So just in a moment's time, he's going to share his story about what they did last year, and then you will have a chance to ask him any questions that come to mind. Please, like as he's talking, do have a think about what you'd like to know about the project. I for sure can't wait to ask him more as well. And then after that, we'll be sharing a little bit about GSL and how you can get involved, and Katie and I will be here to take questions. So I'm Jess, I'm the Programs Director at GSL, and I'm here with Katie. Katie, do you want to say hi?
Hi everyone, wonderful to be with you all and so excited to hear from Ben. I co-founded GSL with John Harper many years ago, and yeah, super excited to hear from you all.
Great, thank you, Katie. Yeah, so this week we've had webinars that have looked at several of the SDGs. So we've looked at quality education, we've looked at climate action, we've looked at partnerships for the goals, and today we're going to be focused on SDG 3, which is good health and well-being. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen in a minute and hand over to Ben, who's going to share his story with us. So Ben, welcome.
Hello, thank you very much, Jess and Katie. As they mentioned, my name is Ben, and today I'm going to be talking about the nonprofit organization that me and my friend founded. It's called Mental Health Notebook. So unfortunately, my friend couldn't be here today because she's actually from Hong Kong, and because of time difference reasons, it's only me here today. But so I'm going to just have a short introduction as to why we started the organization, what we have done so far, us participating in the Global Goals competition, why we did it, our experiences, what we've learned, and what we plan to do in the future. So thank you so much for joining, and let's get started. So I started Mental Health Notebook for quite a personal reason. I personally have had a family member who was struggling a lot with mental health. And when I was around the age of 10, I actually had the unfortunate experience of watching them trying to commit suicide in front of me. That was extremely traumatic for me and has meant that mental health has been at the forefront of my mind since a very, very young age. That it's unrelated, but when around the time COVID hit around 2-3 years ago, my mental health, like probably a lot of other people's, kind of spiraled, and I was never diagnosed, but I think I probably had depression and some sort of anxiety. Luckily, I've gotten better since then. But it was around 2 summers ago after my GCSEs when me and the friend I started Mental Health Notebook with decided, hey, we have a lot of free time now. Let's do something to make a difference to society. And when we were brainstorming what we cared about, what we were passionate about, the thing that came to our mind was mental health. Me for the reason that I just mentioned, but in her, similarly for her as well. She's had her own mental health experiences and she's had close friends who have suffered from mental health as well. So that is why we decided to start Mental Health Notebook, and just to see where we go from there. We had no idea what we were doing. We were just two 16-year-olds back then without much connections, money, and like not knowing anyone. So we just tried our best and just started by the easiest way we know how as teenagers, going on social media. So we just simply started an Instagram account, Mental Health Notebook, and we just started posting knowledge and information related to mental health. We didn't really know what to do, so we just started from our own experience. As Asian teenagers ourselves, we know that mental health can be especially stigmatized, and it is really difficult to really talk about mental health, and to especially your parents or people who are older than you, and it's kind of a taboo topic. So we decided the first thing we could do is to destigmatize it, be kind of like mythbusters and just talk more about it, and so more people understand what it's about. And so that's what we did. We just started posting different topics on our Instagram. For example, oh, school is starting soon. What are some strategies for you to de-stress? Learn more about schizophrenia. Learn more about depression. How do you help yourself when you have depression? Why is therapy so helpful, and why is it useful? Different myths that mental health has that might not be true. So different things like that we try to just educate people from. And I'm not a social media specialist in any sense. I was actually just asked to speak in like a social media conference thing, and I'm like, no, like that's not for me. I don't know how to do that. But I think it was just by luck that we started growing pretty quickly, and we got to having around 15,000 followers like we have currently. And I think it was around 6,000 by the time of around December, so like around a year ago. And we just decided, hey, in the beginning we didn't have any connection, we didn't have money, and we didn't really know what to do. But now we still don't know what to do, we still don't have the money, but now we have connections and we have people who appreciate what we're doing, and we know that we're doing the right thing, so we could keep pushing and try to make an even bigger difference. So in my mind, it was just like, what's the thing that everyone struggles with as teenagers? And that to me was student stress. Student stress is, something that bothers everyone, whether it's exams or lessons or like internal exams, that's something that everyone is stressed from, no matter how smart you are. Everyone still has to take their GCSE, still has to take their A levels. So we decided to start a tutoring program, pure and simple, older students who've done well in their exams, tutoring younger students who are struggling with them. For example, I got 9s in all my science subjects. So I spent some time tutoring a year 9 girl on the 3 sciences, and her grades improved rapidly. And we've been doing that since for over a year now, and we have like I think around 50 or 60 tutors tutoring different younger students, and trying to help them achieve their potential and make school life just slightly easier for them. And so that's the first thing that we started doing. It was pure and simple. We just started we just put it on our Instagram. Hey, if you're interested, just DM us or like fill in this form and we'll pair you up with the tutee. And similarly, if you're struggling, then we'll just pair you up with someone older who might be able to help you. And so that's just what we started with. And afterwards, we realized that we wanted to keep doing more. We wanted to keep expanding what we were doing and help even more people in different ways. So we realized that the best way to help someone with mental health illness is through therapy. I'm personally someone who benefited a huge deal from therapy. Unfortunately, I didn't go into therapy until I recovered, but since then I've been in therapy, and it has just helped me, stay on top of things, stay level-headed, and just make sure I keep maintaining a positive attitude and have a positive outlook on life. And I strongly recommend it for anyone who doesn't go to therapy, because even if it's not only for people with mental illnesses, it just keeps you happy, keeps you healthy, and it's a great thing to do. So we decided to start a therapy program where qualified and professional counselors who are therapists for a living can maybe contribute half an hour or an hour of their time a week to help these teenagers who've come to us who unfortunately couldn't afford their own therapy services. And so I didn't know how to do this, so I basically just started cold calling people and just going on the counseling directory, finding some phone numbers online, just keep calling them. Hi, who we are you interested in doing this? And unfortunately, sometimes it takes on average, it's probably 200-300 every 200-300 people that I call, maybe 50 pick up, 10 are interested, and maybe 1 or 2 end up helping us and being willing to give their time. So it's a really it's a really time-consuming endeavor, and it takes a lot of effort as well. So, but I think it's worth it, because one of the best things about running a charity like this is receiving messages of saying thank you. And we constantly receive people who are benefiting from this therapy scheme telling us, thank you so much for doing this. Without this, I wouldn't have recovered from some mental health illness. And that's just something that means so much to us, knowing that we're helping people, and pushes us to keep doing it. So up until now, I still, whenever I'm free, try to call as many people as possible. I give myself a target, maybe 50 a day, and I just call 50 therapists a day, hoping that one of them will say yes. And so that's another thing that we've been doing, another scheme that we're really proud of, and something that we hope is helping quite a lot of people. And it was around February or March this year when we decided, okay, we need to go even bigger here, because we are trying to fix a problem from once it has already become a problem. We're trying to fix a problem once a student has already had a mental illness. We're trying to help them recover. The best way to prevent mental health illnesses in the first place is to have mechanisms and education provisions put in place, so that students don't get to the place where they need help, where they have the mental health illnesses and need to have therapy or whatever to help them. So we decided that the only way to change this is by contacting schools and politicians with some substantial material, with some evidence, and try to tell them what can help, what can benefit these students. So what we did is we just sent out a message on our Instagram, told them, hey, if you're in the UK and if you're from if you want to like help contribute mental health and tell us about your mental health experience at your school, then come join us. And we ended up with a student council with around 200 students from around 200 different schools that basically came together. We had a few meetings and we ironed out some of the biggest problems of mental health in schools all over the country. For example, what is the main cause of mental health problems at school? How well do you think teachers are trained to for mental health training? How do they know how to like help a student when they go to them for help and guidance? How yeah, so just things like that. And we gathered a lot of information, which we put into a questionnaire with just 15, 16 questions that we just sent out on Instagram and through our school connections and all that. And luckily for us, we got over 5,000 responses from that questionnaire. And we've been able to use that questionnaire to like draw a mental health report. And we've sent that report, which is like around 10 pages long, filled with recommendations of what schools and the government could do to all the MPs in the parliament, UK parliament, politicians in other countries as well, such as America and where I'm from, Hong Kong, and also to a lot of different schools and their head of like well-being pastoral or whatever they call it. So we've been working with these MPs and schools to hopefully try to make a difference to how their mental health education provisions and how their students' mental health is taken care of. Just a simple example is how it is compulsory for schools to have therapists or counselors in Scotland, Northern Ireland, or Wales, the other parts of Great Britain. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I'm not from here, so I'm not that familiar with like the politics of it. But the point is, England is the only place where therapists or counselors aren't it isn't compulsory for schools to have them, and there isn't the resources that's provided by the government for these schools to have them. I'm really lucky. I go to a public school, and there are a few trained counselors who come in on a part-time basis. So students in my school get to receive counseling help, and I personally know how much that has helped students around my school and people who are struggling. And that is something. It is really, really frustrating that this doesn't happen in most schools. And I think I don't have the results right in front of my eyes right now, but I think more than 90% of our respondents tell us they don't have a counselor or at school, or they simply don't know that this person exists, because there are cases where there are counselors at their school, but they don't know because there isn't enough awareness on it. No one knows about it, and there's no point in having that. It's just a waste of resources. So we were trying to push the government to make it compulsory, to provide more resources for these schools to hire these counselors, which are, we think, definitely needed. And also other different suggestions such as more mental training for teachers, some education for parents, because that's also an important aspect of mental health of teenagers, because students spend probably half their time at home, and whatever good work is done in a therapy session or at school, it can be quickly undone during a holiday or during a weekend when the parents could sometimes say some hurtful comments that are triggering and things that could ruin the mental health of these teenagers. So we're also trying to work on that aspect of it as well. So I know I've been rambling for like 10 minutes now, but that's basically what we've been doing the past year and a half or so. But we're also continuing to try to like make an impact in the future. So from the 23rd to the 30th of October, we are hosting a Students' Mental Health Week, which we hope will become an annual thing. So we have different events planned. It's not confirmed yet, but it's going to be started off by our main event, as Mental Health Symposium, where we have invited some professionals and academics from top universities like Oxford and Harvard, some MPs from the parliament, and also some schools, some students, some parents to come together and give talks and have discussion panels on how mental health could be better treated for teenagers, how things could be improved, and hopefully we can make a difference and make an impact for the people who are there, but also for the whole of the UK. We're also going to have different events. For example, we're going to be organizing a protest at that time to improve the mental health provisions for teenagers. We will be we will also be giving mental health training for teenagers and different things like that we're doing that hopefully you guys could all participate in. You can find out more about this on our website, www.mentalhealthnotebook.org. So that's what we're doing, and we hope to continue the work that we've been doing and just keep going and keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully go bigger and make a bigger impact on society as a whole and change how things are done, but also on a micro level, where we are either providing therapy for teenagers, giving them academic help, or whatever else we think of that we think are beneficial to students' mental health. Finally, I just want to talk a bit about the GSL competition that we've done. So the truth is, I didn't do this project because of the GSL Global Goals competition. I found this competition after I've started doing this, and I decided to participate in it. And the thing is, it has taught me a lot, and it's also pushed me to do even more. For example, I remember before the deadline, I remember thinking to myself, okay, I want to hit these numbers, I want to hit these targets. So like the few weeks before the deadline, I called a lot more therapists. I sent a lot more emails out. I had a lot more meetings and discussions with people to hopefully, like, you know, make our not application, but like our entry more professional, more enticing, so that we've done even more. And that has definitely helped contribute a lot to our success. It also has meant a lot to me that being able to be as part of like a competition where a lot of like-minded people are contributing to improving the society according to these 16 MDG goals, and just trying to SDG goals, and trying to improve society together and hopefully make a bigger impact. And I hope that this encourages more of you and more of other people to do this as well, because it's definitely needed in society. There are a lot of problems in society currently, and we need to like approach it in a holistic way. Hopefully that a lot of problems in society, whether it's maybe poverty in many areas in the world, the mental health stigmatization, violence, crime, all these issues need to be solved, and hopefully more people will step up and just do things out of their kind heart and just try their best and hopefully make an impact to society. Because I could personally tell you that it means a lot to me, and it's something that I love doing every single day, and I've had a great time doing, and it's been a blast. So yeah, thank you very much for listening to me talk. I was rambling a bit there. I was slightly nervous, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Ben. I was so very inspired listening to that, and really appreciate quite how much you've done for others. And you must just have had the most phenomenal impact. It's really quite mind-blowing actually, to think about it. It's just really grateful, and yeah, truly humbled and inspired by what you've done. So yeah, perfect. Yeah, Sharon says, great young man. And I love the comment from Joyce. That was quite a bold and significant step that you made with your friends. So yeah, fabulous. A lot of appreciation from the audience as well. Anyone watching, anyone like to ask Ben a question at all? Please do just pop it in the chat or in the Q&A. We will be certainly monitoring both of those. But I'd love to ask you a question, Ben. What is the most important lesson that you learned from this experience?
Sorry, by the way, we hear airplanes. I'm close to Heathrow. So I guess what I've learned many different skills first and foremost. I've always been someone who's like, one of the motivations for starting Mental Health Notebook is I'm really entrepreneurial person. I like to like start my own project. I like to like be a self-starter and just organize my own thing. So that's something that meant a lot to me, and also just the compassion side of it to hopefully make an impact. And that has obviously taught me a lot in those sense, management and also leadership. I remember in the beginning when I definitely wasn't as good a leader as I am right now. We have over 100 volunteers that has helped us along the way. And there are times when I'm just not a good leader. I'm not good at motivating people. I wasn't good at like caring about their mental health, which is ironic because we're Mental Health Notebook, and I gotta, you know, make sure they're not doing too much, make sure that their mental health is taken care of as well. So a lot of different leadership skills I've learned, and a lot of qualities that I definitely take and go forward with it. And just, you know, a lot of organizational skills, communication skills, working with different people, and just, you know, yeah, getting myself organized, because I used to have a tendency, like most people, leaving things to the end. I've always gotten away with it. I kind of still am, but it's, you know, helped me improve my organizational skills a lot, and just to, you know, develop my ability to like, yeah, coordinate things and do things in a good way. So yeah, that was a bit waffly, but yeah.
No, not remotely. Gosh, such brilliant lessons, like really valuable, and yeah, really helpful for everyone to hear those as well, to know that, you know, it wasn't all perfect and you'd actually learned a lot really along the way on this extraordinary journey. I love this question from Joyce. She asks, what kind of future do you see your project headed to? Love that question.
Firstly, the important thing is we keep doing what we're doing. The truth is, whether it's because of A-level reasons, I'm going to university and all that, I would probably like take a step back from the mental health notebook organization just because I don't have time, but most importantly, one of the reasons that I feel that we've resonated so much with other teenagers is because of because we're teenagers ourselves and we understand what they're going through. One thing that I tell these MPs who we work with all the time is that, yes, like maybe you think you know a lot about mental health, but you were a teenager 30 years ago. You have no idea what we're going through. You didn't have social media then. You didn't have to go through COVID as a teenager. So you don't know what we're going through. And one of the reasons why we resonated so much is because we understand them, which is why I plan to pass it on to like people who are maybe the year or 2 years below me to continue doing the good work that that I hope I've been doing, and keep making this impact, keep expanding and trying to find out ways that can make an impact. It doesn't have to be like exactly what we're doing, but anything that they could think of that could remotely improve someone's 1-2 people's mental health, that's worth what we're doing. And we're also like trying to position ourselves to, keep going and keep doing what we're doing. For example, our Students Mental Health Week, like I'm billing it as like the first annual Students Mental Health Week, because I hope that there will be like the second, third, fourth annually, and it keeps happening. So it's important to me that this keeps going and we keep changing people's lives and hopefully making a difference.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, I love that. And what are your thoughts on how you're going to pass it on to the young years? Have you thought, because I think that succession planning and sustainability is such an important thing, and I think the audience would love to hear that, because I'm sure that's on their minds as well.
Well, I basically like we have different projects that we're organizing. Like we have like someone responsible for like the content that we do, someone responsible for the tutoring program, the counseling therapy program, the symposium, outreach and all that. I basically just told them, if like when I decide to step down, might be December, might be March, might be next June. When I decide to, if you're interested, tell me, and I'll just see if you're suitable. I'll just see like, like different things about suitability, maybe how old you are. If you're still a bit younger, you could maybe do it after them. How old you are, how the leadership skills that you've shown me, like how much I trust you to be able to do the job responsibly, and just see how that goes. And hopefully the organization could continue without like hiccups and keep making an impact. And hopefully it'll grow way more than I was able to allow it to. Hopefully it'll do even better than I have done. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. So good to hear. Thank you so much. And yeah, so nice to hear that you've got a lot of steps in place, and the humility and thinking that it can go beyond you is it's a really wonderful thing. I think it's one of the key virtues in leadership, for sure, humility. So yeah, really great to hear that coming through too. Thank you, Ben. Lovely question in the Q&A, which really builds on this. I don't know if you want to say more, or if you feel you've said enough on this, but this from someone who we're not quite sure who it is, but I think they may be dialing in from the UAE, says, if I were to sign up to help Mental Health Notebook as a school council member, what would I be expected to do?
Well, our school council is currently shut because we are like going through this is another thing that we plan to do annually. We plan to do a school council, do a questionnaire, do a report annually. So right now we're at the report stage where we're trying to share with people. So for example, I'll be heading to the parliament in probably a few weeks time to present my report to like the parliament, and hopefully they do something about it. So we're not at the stage currently where we're recruiting people, but we probably will around the beginning of next year. Just follow us on Instagram. We'll probably post about it, and then it'll be on our website. You could just sign up there. The school council is mainly just having discussions about the mental health situation of your school, and trying to figure out what's the provisions like at your school. How's the education like? How are students coping with their mental health? How are students with their stress and well-being? And it's good that you mentioned you're from UAE, actually, because most of what we've done so far this term or this year is based on the UK, and we hope to expand that to the rest of the world and hopefully make an impact in the rest of the world, because at the end of the day, the UK is actually one of the places where mental health is the least stigmatized. It's way more stigmatized in other Western countries, including America, especially Asian countries as well. So we hope to expand what we're doing and do it at a international level. So just stay tuned on our Instagram or our website, and you'll get to sign up. And definitely welcome to join, and I look forward to seeing you there next year.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ben. And I think Jess has very kindly posted the link to your website in the chat. So yeah, do have a look at that, take a note of it before anyone leaves, and make sure you've got that.
Yeah. If there are any website designers, please do contact me. I made the website myself. I don't like how it's fine, but it looks a bit flat. If you're good at websites, contact me and I'll
Brilliant. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, lovely shout out there. Absolutely. And I think the more we can work together, the better. And wouldn't it be cool if someone from the other side of the world became your website designer? That would be really fun.
Amazing.
Young people collaborating is just the best. Fantastic. And Matea says, thank you for your wonderful contribution to young people. Your project is worthy of admirations. Greetings from Zagreb. So that's wonderful to see. Thank you. And we've got another question here actually from Sharon, and she says, what are the baby steps that you may advise teenagers to take towards in order to create an impact in the future towards achieving a mental health goal? So that's from Sharon. Thank you, Sharon.
First, yeah, thank you very much for all of your nice comments. So it's honestly just figuring out what you're passionate about, because I'm 17. I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time, but I believe that, you know, to have success, obviously you need the passion. You need passion and you need hard work. How, I don't know, smart you are, how skilled you are, doesn't really matter. You just need to be passionate about it. You need to be hardworking, and just find something you're passionate about. If you're passionate about it, will be willing to spend time on it and spend time working on it and hoping to make an impact on it. The reason I've done so well with Mental Health Notebook and done so much is because mental is a topic that's close to my heart and it's something that means a lot to me. If you were telling me to do a charity on homelessness, I obviously care about it, and we all want to eliminate that in the world, but I just don't have that personal connection to it. I don't have that passion for it, and I would definitely not have done what I have done. So the important thing is just find what you're passionate about. Don't try to start an organization and make an impact for the sake of it. If you're passionate about something, then do it and stick with it, and there will be struggles, there will be hardships. One thing I didn't mention is that before we started Mental Health Notebook, we had another organization which failed spectacularly. And also our Instagram account was banned for like 3 months time because we posted something not controversial, but probably something that's a bit political. And you go through a lot of hardships. You just got to stick through it. You got to tell yourself, if I've gone to a stage one time, I could do it again, and I could do it even better. So you just got to keep going, keep working on what you're doing, and it'll all be fine. So just to summarize what I said, choose something that you're passionate about. Just starting is honestly like 3/4 of like the difficulty in it, and just keep going and just think outside the box, because a lot of times the solution isn't just right there. You gotta just, you know, I have a whiteboard right there where I just scribble down ideas of what I think and what ideas I have, not only for Mental Health Notebook, and think outside the box, think of solutions, and it'll be great. It'll be easier to accomplish things.
Fantastic. Such wise advice. Thank you so much. And I really, really agree with you. Just do something you're super passionate about. And starting is definitely the hardest thing. Once you start, it's so much easier, isn't it? It's just the thought of like that blank piece of paper can be so difficult. Brilliant. Thank you, Ben. And we've got another one from an anonymous person, so I'm not quite sure where it's from, but it says, as a member of my school's student council, how do you think I should encourage mental health awareness?
I think that mental health awareness is already present in many schools. I don't know where you're from, but especially in the UK, but also other countries where it's a lot more stigmatized. I think that it's still very stigmatized on the adult level, probably like above 40, above 50. But younger students, you know, especially Gen Z, people who are at school, people who are teenagers right now, they are completely aware of mental health is, and most people like are aware of it and want to make a difference in it. The difficult thing probably as school council is to make a difference on a school-wide level, and that is like probably speaking to your teachers and all that. And I think the most important thing is just to have statistics and actual solutions to back yourself up. The reason I've been able to make some changes at my own school, but also in the governmental level, and influence what some MPs think and what they stand for, is because I did my research. I conducted a questionnaire among the country, and I wrote out a report with like clear solutions stated. And when they saw that, they saw my reasons for it. They saw what I believe needs to be accomplished to change it, why I think those solutions will help, and how to do those goals. Because you can't, for example, you can't just tell someone to hey, hire one more counselor, because where do they find the money for it? How do they afford that? Do you have a counseling room? What are the safeguarding purpose of that? So you gotta, like, if you want someone to do something, you gotta like make it easy for them, and just try to make their jobs easier, because at the end of the day, you're asking someone to do things. And So you gotta like go to them with like evidence, backed up by probably statistics or like your own research, come up with like accurate solutions, and that is easy to implement, and just go there confidently and just try to persuade them the best you can. And I know it's difficult. I know I've talked to a lot of older teachers from my school and other schools who are resistant to change. A lot of them maybe believe that their methods are the best, and that, you know, they are, in a way, like it's easy for humans to be complacent. So it's difficult, but we just got to try, because otherwise, if we don't try, then we can't really make an impact. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. It does make such a difference doing your research thoroughly, doesn't it? And then actually being able to present that and a really clear argument, and actually having some data to back that up, makes such a difference. So yeah, and then I love your final advice of, yeah, just try stuff, definitely, always. And yeah, we learn so much, don't we, when we try? So it's brilliant. We have got any more questions? Sorry, Michaela has said she's from Greece, and sorry, Sharon was Douglas from Nairobi, Kenya. Not that. So let's see. Oh, brilliant. Here we go. We've got one from Yuzul. What kind of obstacles do you expect to face during motivating other people of different customs and traditions? So nice one there. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, it's great to see people from different places.
Yeah.
I remember I heard someone from Croatia. I love Croatia. My brother just visited last week. Had an amazing time there. Anyways, difficulties. Well, let me just talk a bit about, like, you know, difficulties in general, like, you know, persuading people. It's really easy for people to be set in their ways, especially not really in a political sense, but like everything's political nowadays. And if you want to convince someone of something, it's with, you know, how politically fractured society is, it is difficult to convince someone of something, and it's difficult to change their mind, because a lot of times people are really stuck in their ways, and a lot of times people don't change their minds even if, like, you know, there's really well arguments about it, and a lot of times people just tend to stick to what they believe in. So it's difficult to convince people. A lot of times you just need to, yeah, it is difficult, and I have a challenge in doing so too. I have a challenge in talking to my parents about my own mental health struggles as well. And I distinctly remember when I first told one of my close family members that I had depression, and I got a lot better after going to therapy. Their first words to me weren't like, "Oh, great that you're feeling better now," or "Oh, I'm sorry about that." The first words were, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" And so I completely understand how difficult it is to talk to people with different customs and different traditions and different cultures on mental health and other more taboo or more topics that you just don't feel comfortable talking about. So I guess the best way to do it is just honestly, I don't think I can give the best advice on this, but I guess just try to tell them about your experience. Storytelling is a great way to convince people and make a point. Just tell people how you actually feel, and tell them that in like in a passionate way, and be honest. And a lot of times they'll get through to people, but there's a pretty big chance that it won't as well. And you just gotta keep trying, because I kept trying with my family, and I think it's a lot better now. And a lot of people I know, just it's really easy to just give up on it and just be like, whatever, like this is a waste of my time. But just keep going and keep trying, and be honest, be genuine, and be passionate about whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that. You can only tell your own story, can't you? And yeah, great answer. He says, thank you. Good wishes from Yuzul. And I'm really sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Got another one from Vasharani. What preparation did you do before preparing the questionnaire?
Yeah, so it's mainly through the school council, where we just gather information on what they each think, what they think their school needs the most, what are the biggest mental health problems at their schools, and how they, and yeah, so for example, Alfia told us a problem is there aren't too many tests at my school. The thing is, tests tend to be cluttered in the same week. So like I could have no tests for 5 weeks and have 6 tests in 1 week, and that's a problem itself. And so it's just gathering different information and feedback on what they think needs to be changed, what are the biggest problems, and we just use that information, also my personal experiences and our organization's people's personal experience, to create this questionnaire, and just that we think or hopefully can provoke responses that could help us come up with solutions that could make an impact. So yeah.
Amazing. Oh, Ben, that's been absolutely incredible. I have just loved all of your answers, and yeah, it was so brilliant hearing your story, and yeah, keep it going, keep it going. It's just wonderful. Jess, over to you.
Yeah, wow. Well, as you say, Casey, just like absolutely amazing to hear that from you, Ben. And we really appreciate all the work that you've done, but also coming to share your story with us and with everyone here, because it really is so inspiring. And I loved how open you were sharing about actually you've tried something else and it went wrong, and things go wrong and you just have to try again. And that is, gosh, of all the lessons in life, that's one of the biggest ones, isn't it? I think, just to pick yourself up and try again. So yeah, thank you so much. And to everyone here, just amazing, all the questions that you've got and the comments and then the encouragement for Ben. We've really, really appreciated that. And so yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and yeah, thank you for the comments. I saw them, and I appreciate the I appreciate what you guys are saying, and thank you for yeah, supporting what we're doing as well. So thank you very much. I genuinely mean it. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Ben. Yeah, pleasure. It's yeah, absolutely inspiring. And in case all of you here are inspired by what Ben and the rest of the team at Mental Health Notebook have been doing, we thought we would share a little bit more about GSL and the different ways that you can get involved with us. So whether you're a young person, an educator, or someone else who's keen to support young people to take social action, we have different ways that you can get involved. And so I'll share a little bit. Please do also feel free to add questions to the chat, and we'll hopefully have a couple of minutes for questions that Katie and I will be happy to take at the end. So how can you get involved? So firstly, a bit about our vision as an organisation. So our vision is to create a global community of schools and partners working together to transform education and to ensure that young people are equipped to deliver social action in their communities. So we know that many young people are feeling the burden of solving the world's problems, and we want to be clear that this shouldn't be put all on young people. So whilst we want to get across the message that young people can be a positive force in solving some of the world's issues, and we can equip them to thrive and to do that, we also all need to play our part so that we can together create a more sustainable society and world. So young people taking action on social issues, we believe, has a double benefit. So not only does it benefit the communities that the young people are working with, but also on the young people taking action themselves. So young people can develop a wide range of valuable skills, including leadership, communication, and collaboration. And we've seen that their well-being also improves as a result of understanding their agency and also understanding that they're not alone. So a bit more about what we do. So we're really proud of what we've achieved so far. So since 2013, we've actually equipped 10,000 young people to deliver more than 3,500 social action projects. And what we currently do, so this year we've launched a new membership organisation for schools. So this is to enable GSL to be a whole school movement that will really focus on the transformation of education. Having had great success with online leadership courses for young people during COVID, we've now expanded this. So these can equip them to take social action. So this year we've expanded the offering, and I'll tell you a bit more in a moment about what that looks like. We've also got some amazing, amazing partners who've supported GSL at different stages in our evolution. And we're now working to bring on board more partners so that we can further improve what we're doing and grow the reach of what we're doing so that GSL is bigger and better and more accessible. Integral to the success of everything that we do, but particularly our Global Goals competition and our courses, have been incredible volunteers who've provided all kinds of support to young people, whether that's feedback on their project plans, acting as judges of projects, and also speaking to inspire them at courses and other events. So that gives you a quick snapshot, and now I'll tell you a bit more detail. So membership. Membership is, as I said, a brand new opportunity that we've launched just this year. It's open to all schools that are serving young people aged 11 to 17 from around the world who share our vision and are committed to equipping young people to be leaders in their lives and society. And GSL membership is designed to equip schools and students to deliver high quality social action, and it's designed to make a lasting impact on the school and students as well as the wider community. So there's several key elements to that here, 5 in fact. So head teacher engagement. So we ask all head teachers of member schools to sign a pledge and then to join our community to engage with other head teachers to support their own teachers and their students in taking social action. Lead teacher development. So we haven't heard today from the teacher that was supporting Ben, but we know how important teachers are in the schools that we work in. And so as a big part of the membership offer this year is to introduce CPD for teachers. So particularly around coaching skills to support them in supporting young people to carry out high quality social action. We're also running connection events to enable teachers to connect across the globe with each other, to share their successes and share support and ideas of how they can support young people. So Ben has mentioned the Global Goals competition. So Ben's team, Mental Health Notebook, were one of the 5 finalists this year in our competition. So the competition is now part of our membership organization. So in order to take part in the competition, a school needs to be a member of GSL, and each school is able to have up to 10 teams in the competition. And to provide even greater support, we've now introduced brand new team leader training. So we'll be doing online training for young people from around the world to support them taking social action, and providing multiple opportunities for them to connect with their peers to get support. On top of that, when you're a member school, you can access discounts on our other opportunities, such as our courses, and we are developing a bursary scheme for young people and for schools who cannot afford to take part, called the Future Fund. And the final key element of membership is whole school and community engagement and impact. So we will be working to engage partners and other stakeholders to support schools, but we know that schools as well are working with their community and stakeholders to increase the impact that they have. So that's a quick snapshot of membership, but happy to answer any questions as well. We've also got our courses. So as I mentioned, we started running an online course. It's called our Catalyst course during the COVID lockdown. And this has been a really incredible course. We've had amazing feedback from young people, seen amazing impact from all the projects they've done. It's a 3-day online course, after which young people do their own social action project. And we've had several thousand young people take part in this course so far. And so this year we've decided to introduce 2 new courses. So we've a GSL Accelerator course. So for all those young people that have already done a Catalyst and would like training and support to take their project further or to do another project, they can join our Accelerator course. And in response to some feedback that we've had from young people on our courses this year, we've been looking at how can we create courses that allow young people to collaborate more. So we're introducing some campaigning courses called our GSL Activate. So we're going to be running 3 of these during the year, 1 focused on climate action, 1 focused on quality education, and 1 focused on good health and well-being. And the first of these is going to be run around COP in November. So you can get more information about these courses on our website. And so that's a key way that any young person directly can sign up. So you don't have to be from a member school to sign up to one of our courses. If you're listening and you're interested in getting involved, but it's not something you think you can afford, please do contact us, as we do have a bursary scheme that we're developing. And so where possible, we will be giving free places to students as well. So then partnerships for change. So as I've mentioned, partners are a really important part of GSL. So we've had a lot of partners already supporting, and that includes people like RISE and people like Wellington College, who've been amazing in the development of GSL and in funding bursary places. And we're looking to grow them even further by growing the number of partners that we have. So if you're listening and you're inspired by GSL and you would like to help young people take more action, we'd love to hear from you and to talk to you about different ways that you could be a partner, either supporting one of our themes or by providing kind of volunteers from your workforce, or to support bursary places for schools or students. And heroes. So, are you a hero? As I've mentioned, we've had so many incredible volunteers over the years support young people to take social action. So if you're listening and you would just love to find a way to help young people, maybe you're an educator, maybe you're not, there's lots of different ways you can do that, from providing feedback to being a judge to speaking at one of our events to provide your expertise to young people. We always ensure that people are properly trained and prepared for these development opportunities. So please do get in touch if you'd be interested. And so that brings us sort of near to the close of the webinar. But before we go, if anyone has any questions about GSL for myself or for Katie, one of the co-founders, we would love to answer them. So I'm just trying to check if we've got any questions. Katie, can you see any in the, no, it doesn't look like it. at the moment. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been really, really amazing to have you with us, and I hope you're feeling as inspired as we are. I will just pop, just before we leave, I will just pop some links in the chat. So if you are interested in any of the opportunities we talked about today, please do check out our website, where you can find more information or get in contact with us. We'd be happy to kind of talk to you individually about what we can offer. But otherwise, thank you so much, and huge thanks to Ben. Justina kindly emails a PowerPoint. So the webinars are all being recorded, so they will shortly be posted online, and we will send all the participants a link to that, so you'll be able to see the webinar online and share it with people in your networks as you like. So yeah, thank you so much. Really good to see you all today, and take care.
Thank you so much, everyone. Really brilliant to be with you.